I'll go ahead and get 5 sins out of the way on this Like, the last 2 movies combined have 3 mentions of Moscow, Russia, as if you have memory loss like Jason Bourne. So the Moscow police are coming after Bourne because of that tunnel chase scene from the last movie. How the f*** did Bourne get spotted in the first place, and how was he identified by anyone in that dark-ass tunnel? Hey, maybe time to get a disguise or something, right? Now that Bourne's taken care of the last movie's flashback from his past, here's another f***ing flashback that was apparently waiting in line until the other flashback finished its business.
Will you commit to this program?
The Bourne series tries very hard to find as many old white f***s as they can to be the bad guys in these movies, so that you will have a hard time remembering whether Chris Cooper, Brian Cox, Scott Glenn, or Albert Finney is in which movie.
Girl that he was on the run with.
Jesus, the first 5 minutes of this movie is recapping what happened in the other movies. Like, a lot. Man, the ball's on Bourne. This is his second breaking and entering and telling people how their loved ones died moment in the past 15 minutes of boarding.
Someone started all of this. And I'm gonna find them.
Doesn't Bourne already have his necessary revenge? The only person who started all this back up is Ward Abbott, who you might remember is dead now. But that's not enough. Bourne must now kill the guy behind the guy.
Have you heard about Operation Blackfriar?
This investigative reporter who has been researching U.S. black bag ops that are dangerously secretive decides to say the name of some secret op word on his cell phone. Bourne's in the newspaper, and he's still not hiding his face at all. Just enjoy her out in the open train ride, dude. Is Bourne's girlfriend really going to be like Bond's girlfriend from Casino Royale, where we spend several movies mourning the loss? Movie goes back and forth from dead girlfriend flashbacks to assassin training flashbacks with no warning or reason or connection. Just a double dose of plot, man.
I'm gonna walk by you. I want you to move along the far wall to your left. In 4, 3, 2, 1.
Gotta say, this scene where Bourne talks the reporter through this train station is amazeballs, and for that we will remove 3 sins.
Where the hell is he?
It must be nice to go to work every day and basically your job is to say the same line a different way 100 times and get paid for it. Oh, you say that's all I do too? Well, fair enough.
Oh, the bin man. I think he's one of them.
Garbage man?
Negative.
Oh, Jesus, he's reaching for something.
I get that this guy's freaking out. It's his first time being hunted by assassins, but he's so over-the-top identifies the trash can man as the killer, it's laughable. It's like he's seen Unbreakable 100 times and goes deaf to Bourne in his ear.
This guy's got help.
Yeah, that guy who wrote about Jason Bourne? I wonder who has the requisite skills to take down some of your surveillance team in such a clandestine way. Maybe you should be looking for someone who looks like Bourne. Bourne dispatches his enemies through rapid-fire editing.
Jesus Christ.
Close enough.
Block all the exits. Give the asset a green light.
Can American CIA personnel block all the exits to a British train station? Like, legally? Let alone the question of manpower?
Kill the cameras.
I get that we're allies, but would England really give the CIA direct control of its security cameras in a highly trafficked public area like this train station? I don't think so, is what I'm saying.
Bourne?
Just stay where you are.
I'm going for it. No.
Again, this asshole ignores Bourne and acts on panic, resulting in his own death, which honestly I don't feel all that bad about. Bourne goes after the Blackbriar assassin as though he doesn't remember these guys are trained to give up nothing, and capturing one would be useless. One of these dudes ran and jumped out a window rather than talk to Bourne. I see that the CIA didn't bother to check the trains again, and Bourne is walking around in the open like an asshole. You know, I'm willing to believe Bourne is amazing at not being caught, but not in the manner these movies would have us believe.
Do you have any idea who you're dealing with? This is Jason Bourne.
Landy, who knew nothing about Jason Bourne in the last movie and made these exact same mistakes, is now scolding everyone in this room for not knowing who Jason Bourne is. Now, maybe because this is the deep-covered division of the CIA, they should already know who he is, but that's still a sin for not surveilling the train stations and airports for his whereabouts.
He's committing treason by talking to Ross. Do you really think while doing that he's going to use a cell phone that he knows we can track?
Well, maybe. A lot of people in these movies do stupid things all the time. It can't hurt to at least track it, right? It's kind of great they never show this magic master key that Bourne uses. I'd like just once to see it fail, and then see what he does after that. Power to the motion sensors just happen to be right next to the door and out of the sightline of those sensors. This asshole, who took everything out of the safe before leaving, somehow left behind a photo of himself for pure plotline purposes. I get you want things to be dramatic. It's a movie after all. But this is 2 guys in the dark with handguns. We've seen Bourne take on and take out worse. So why not just hide right inside the door and jump these fools as opposed to all this elaborate fan light bullshit? I really like these movies, but damn, try following this f***ing action scene. Is it convenient or coincidence that Nikki from the last 2 Bourne movies just happens to currently be working out of this office and just happened to check in right now after hours when it's late and some shit is going down? Not that he's in any danger from Nikki here, but seems like Bourne's major weakness is phones ringing because he gets distracted every time.
She was Treadstone. Logistics.
Seems like you guys would have contacted her, since she was officially moved to Madrid and she's a Bourne expert, and you have a Bourne operation going down in Madrid.
My car's outside. I know where Daniels is.
That's like 2 more levels of coincidence beyond just you being here right now. It's like coincidence to the 3rd power. The only way this could get any more convenient is if you discovered Ant-Man's PIM particle and Daniels is actually in your purse right now.
8 o'clock this morning, he wired $100,000 to a bank account in Tangier.
Sure, okay, but how do you know about that? Either you're his co-conspirator, or else you knew he was a criminal but still didn't tell the CIA, making you a traitor. Also, the guy who apparently won't be on his cell phone because he's too smart leaves a f***ing money trail to his next destination.
He said you were the first one.
Daniels did a lot of f***ing blabbing about super top secret to this girl. Damn! Why was he telling her all this knowledge if it is so dangerous that Vosen wants to kill him?
It was difficult for me with you.
Is this movie saying they boned? I think this movie's saying they boned. Also, never once did she make it seem like they were an item in any of the other Bourne movies. Kinda like Julia Stiles was never told her character used to date Bourne until this movie was made. Also, 22 seconds of, oh, you're telling me we used to date staring.
You're gonna want to look at this.
Ah, there it is. The old, you better come take a look at this cliche. Been wondering when that one would rear its head in this movie.
He's in Tangier.
They knew Bourne was coming after this Daniels guy, but somehow don't have the same information that Nikki had about transferring money to an account earlier this morning and are just now finding out where he is.
Noah Vosen.
There's no good reason to show you this right now, but we'd like you to have the knowledge of how this safe works for later in the movie for Bourne's I'm in your office whammy, which actually only makes this weirder because Bourne is not watching this safe in operation right now like we are, yet he will still know that this safe requires saying Noah Vosen's name to break into it later.
They just tracked Daniel's passport to a hotel in Tangier.
Jesus, now all he has to do is use his cell phone, which he'll never do according to Landy. Okay, they know two subjects left the office where they talked to Nikki by phone, so they know she's either working with Bourne or is his prisoner, yet it still wasn't CIA policy to lock out her logins? Much of this movie moving forward hinges on her ability to log in right now to the CIA computer network, and it's just utterly bonkers that she's able to do it. Why would you type location in the delete search parameter section and not in the add search parameter section? Oh, so they can't find where Daniels is because it's being blocked by a firewall, but the information as to who would kill Daniels, that's perfectly accessible information.
Asset unscheduled stop.
How the f*** can they differentiate a stop with a f***ing red light? Do they have a sensor in that scooter that can tell the motor's been turned off? The f***? Matt Damon in the Bourne Ultimatum ripped off this pickpocket move from Matt Damon in Ocean's 11.
Sir, we have an unauthorized breach.
She breached your like ages ago. Texting while scootering. Also, okay, she gave him a new phone though. Is he still getting CIA instructions on his old phone? Shouldn't she have asked for his original phone at the switch? Does this dude even question why he got a new phone in the middle of an operation? Bourne, by riding this close to the target he's tailing, is a f***ing dumbass of colossal proportions. I mean, it's objects in mirror may be closer than they appear, right? And he appears to be 1.5 car lengths behind him, so he's basically riding this guy's ass. Stop! Desh is smarter than Bourne. Why was the spin-off given to Jeremy Renner instead of motherfucking Desh, man? Oh yeah, he's about to die. I forgot. But still, Desh rules. The blast killed Daniels in his car, but Jason Bourne, no surprise, is barely affected by the blast of which he took the brunt. Well now, isn't this the most convenient broken sidewalk turned into a motorcycle ramp I've ever seen in my life? Okay, at this point, Bourne seems to have lost Desh, and now sees the cops coming for him, so he goes up to the roofs of Tangier, and then somehow finds Desh again. Street vendors selling, like, hairspray, and there just happens to be a fire nearby that hairspray can be thrown into. I mean, it's like Morocco was built for this chase scene. That was some quick thinking by Bourne, to steal those people's clothes so that he could scale this wall that had glass on it. I wonder how he knew that was going to happen. They've entered one of those apartment complexes where, for some reason, you can always hear a baby crying in the distance. In this total maze of apartments and rooftops, Bourne just happens to see Nikki at a window just before she's about to get killed. Gotta say, this fight is pretty exhilarating, even though it's got a lot of cuts in it. It's well lit, in tight quarters, and it's intense. Gotta remove us in for this, right?
We'll roll it up, hang it around her neck, and start over.
What? The shady boss, played by Scott Glenn, is evil? I would never have guessed.
I can see the faces. Everyone I ever killed.
Bourne says this at the exact moment Landy just happens to be looking at all the people Bourne's ever killed. Nikki had to cut and dye her hair, but Bourne continues with his normal Matt Damon-y self. Movie steals something from Vertigo or Single White Female or something like that. One of those.
Voici les affaires de Monsieur Daniel.
Completely and totally amazing the CIA didn't get to Daniel's belongings first. Despite all logic, Bourne somehow talks himself into the morgue to see Daniel's body in the same city where he's a wanted man being chased across rooftops a few hours ago. Amazing. He's like James Bond meets Houdini, really. This bomb exploded everything except an extremely useful address. In fact, it seems like it did it on purpose. And does Jason Bourne seriously need this burned piece of paper to find out where the deep cover CIA building is in New York? Seriously? Couldn't he have just asked Nikki before he put her on a bus? But whatever, cool burned paper shot, yo.
Em, you need to see this.
There you are again, you rascally rabbit of a cliche. I see you. I got you.
They don't know?
Landy is referring to the Blackbriar bad guys, who, yes, should very well know. This little scope allows you to spy into CIA offices in full high def. Now, if you're telling me the device somehow x-rays through tinted glass and shows a perfect view of the room, why doesn't it show the offices below Noah's office right now? Also, Noah just happens to be in his office doing some shady shit at this very moment.
Better get in here, we got a situation.
Another come take a look at this cliche. Would it not be more prudent to say Bourne's talking to Landy right f***ing now, dude, than whatever you said?
Get some rest, man. You look tired.
Man, these movies really love whammy I'm watching you phone conversations, even when it's not a whammy anymore after this scene was done in the last movie.
Noah Vosen.
Wow, good thing this guy answers his personal cell phone the same way he opens his safe.
I'm sitting in my office.
I doubt that.
Bourne managed to slip by everyone and get into Noah's office because he's Bourne, I guess. Either that or this division is continuing their comically stupid journey through this movie. Plus, no one ever walks by the office and sees a strange man in there.
If you were in your office right now, we'd be having this conversation face to face.
I see why Bourne says this, so that Noah will divert all his attention back to the office and get them off Landy so that he can meet her at 415 71st Street. My question is, after getting Noah to say his name, why didn't he just hang up, steal the files, and call again from another location? Because this gives the CIA a good idea of where he is, causing all the mayhem in the world. He shouldn't survive such an onslaught, even though, of course, he does.
Noah Wilson.
I guess these recorders are clear enough that they capture perfect tone and frequency from the speaker of a cell phone and don't sound like somebody talking on a phone.
I want everyone back in the vehicles. There's a code 10 aboard.
Forget totally about Landy, who has obviously gone rogue and is in league with Bourne. Forget about putting just 2 agents on her to follow her just in case Bourne might not be where he claims he is. Forget that he's so far been playing tons of games with you and that this is probably yet another diversionary tactic. I mean, Jesus.
Put your hands in the air!
How did this dude, not in the car, get down to this level so fast and become an ex machina? The Fast and the Borneus.
Sir, take a look at this.
Oh my god, this movie, which I love and adore, has set the record for the most you gotta take a look at this moments in a single film. Yeah, no idea what's going on, which might be attributed to the camera work by Shakes the Clown. I mean, this is a major wreck. The second one Bourne's had in 5 minutes. They did not give him adamantium bones, did they? Third major wreck in 5 minutes. Still nothing? You.
Gentlemen, this is a priority 1 situation.
Why didn't anyone make any calls to this place and tell them to watch out for this guy Jason Bourne? Backup's on the way.
Why did you pick me?
You really don't remember, do you?
Why do people keep asking him this? This line of dialogue is now officially accounted for 1% of this movie's runtime. So this is actually a pretty good scene and everything. Tells us where Jason Bourne came from and fills in a lot of gaps. But do we really need these this is a flashback streaks going through the film and the dialogue echoes to tell us that it's a flashback? I mean, Jesus, can't we just watch this normally for once? Bourne jumps out of a window that I assume he knew wouldn't cause him to fall to his death. Bourne will also survive this, making me now believe I'm watching some sort of religious movie about God. Or a God. This guy's been unconscious in the water so long he should have drowned by now.
Oh, that's not right.
Hey, did you just take his wallet? He just took that guy's wallet.
Okay, sucker. With me, and we'll see who shits on the sidewalk.
You know what I hate about myself? I know what people taste like.
Pamela Landy.
I told you not to hang up on me. There should be a TV show about a guy who calls home one day and he's there. He answers. He's talking to himself, only it's someone else. He's somehow divided into 2, and the second one of him drives away, and the rest of the show is about him trying to find the guy.
Sir, he drove off the roof.
What?
He's flying on rooftops.
You chose right here to become Colonel.